think the incredible thing about my mom is how dedicated she is to anything she throws herself at. But I think what's more impressive and what's taken me where I've been able to go in my professional and academic and athletic careers is the belief that you can do anything you invest yourself into.
I think one of the coolest things about Mimi and that I've really appreciated in our lives is, being from Virginia, and Elizabeth and I met in law school in South Carolina and have, started a family there in Columbia, is we look at this awesome community and Mimi shares it with us. We don't just look at it, but she shares it with us in a place that, some people, Elizabeth, I always give her a hard time referring to Gainesville as such a small town, and it's grown up so much, but you look at what she's been able to do and establish and how important she is to so many different members of the community, so many different aspects, whether it be the club or through the paddling community, through church, or professionally, obviously, and all that community outreach. And that's just something so cool for us as people who are outsiders in Columbia and kind of trying to establish roots there, just to see an example and just see the fruits of that hard work. And that's just from genuineness. You can't fake that. That's relational, but it's just hard work and care for me. And it's shown so much in our son Gabriel, who we were able to adopt this year, and born right down the street in Gainesville, and just the way the community from all those walks of life with Mimi came around us and showered us and blessed us. It's really just amazing, and just a testament to who she is and her character.
Yeah, she's been an incredible grandmother. She spends so much time dedicated to this little guy, and I mean, since day one, it was such a whirlwind the week we brought him home, and she made sure to drop everything, and that we had meals at the hospital, and that we had clothes for him. We came back to this house, and we had piles of clothes just ready for us, and that was all her and her love for this family and for Gabriel, and it's amazing to see her shower him with love.
I remember one time in particular, Elizabeth was fussy. We were in the car, she's about 1 year old, and we were driving in downtown Atlanta, stuck in traffic as usual. And like I said, Elizabeth's fussy, and Mimi starts singing Old MacDonald Had a Farm. She instinctively knew to sing that. She went through the litany of farm animals, and when she was finished, Elizabeth was sound asleep. And I was like, wow, everything she touches has such a calming effect, and she has such grace with everything. I can only strive for that.
Three of us have had a long relationship with Mimi, about 30 years. We have been under the influence of Mimi Collins for 30 years now, and it's been a good influence. We were talking about the first time that we ever met Mimi. She was working for the hospital at that time, and my recollection is a matter when she was doing a time survey efficiency study for our office. In my first meeting.
The hospital loaned her to us.
Hospital loaned her to us, and we just, once we got to thinking about Longstreet Clinic, we just sort of kept her. And we're glad we did. Longstreet would not be what it is today without Mimi Collins.
I don't think I've ever worked with anybody that was more organized or compassionate about how she went about doing things. She wasn't hard on the public, and she wasn't hard on the doctors. She was helpful from both standpoints. And I've always been proud of the fact that I had her as a person that followed through with making this clinic that we have very successful and very well recognized. And it wasn't easy.
We were mostly associated with the OB program at the health department. Prior to Longstreet taking it over, the perinatal mortality rate in infants was significant in Hall County, but now it's not. And it's because our patient, she worked out a way with the public health department for us to deliver prenatal care. That was very beneficial to their patients and to the health department. It was also not an unbearable burden for the providers, which it had been prior to that.
When Stan and I started dating when we were in high school, so we were about 15 years old when I first met her. And every milestone, every graduation or anything big to celebrate, she's always been there for me, and she's been an absolutely amazing supporter, and she's always been a big fan, which is great to have in a family that you're marrying into, in a mother-in-law. But I know that anytime I need anything, she's always one call away.
As Mimi has traveled the world supporting Stanton in his paddling career, she would always run into people across the world that would ask where she was from, and she would say Gainesville, and they would never know where she was talking about. And then suddenly she would say, Lanier, I'm from Lanier, and their eyes would open, and they would, be so excited to hear that someone was from Lanier. And so Mimi knew right then that this was a special place known to people from around the world, and she made it her mission to come back here and revitalize the park so that our own community understood what this park meant to this, not only our community, but to the world.
It is her favorite place to be on any given day. I'm sure most days, unless Gabriel is here, she would much rather be here than in an office or in a meeting, just admiring the view and seeing what's going on, seeing the construction of the pavilion.
Yes, I remember one day we were here, she and I were here, and there was a concert going on, and it wasn't music that we would typically enjoy. And we were looking out of the crowd and saying, we don't know these people. These are people that are new to the park, new to our community. And she was like, I love this park. And it wasn't the music, it wasn't the people, it was just knowing that we have created a park that's open to all in the community, not just a certain group of people, but this definitely is a regional and community gym.
Gay one to start.
So yeah.
Well, we couldn't be. There's nobody more deserving than Mom for this award. We couldn't be more happy that she's being honored with it.
Yeah. We're so happy that the community and everybody sees all the amazing things that we see in her. We're so proud of everything she does.
Gabriel's super proud of you too.